I present to you week 4 of the college football season. We head to Pullman, Washington State, taking on UCLA. And Anthony Gordon threw a ball on Saturday night here to Aesop Winston.
We expected this, right, guys? Gordon comes in leading the nation, 444 passing yards a game. Gardner Minshew's there, and he loves it.
Guys, this was a beatdown, 49-17, Joey.
Yeah, it's over, right? UCLA is only averaging 14 points a game coming into this game tonight, so it's over.
No one told Dorian Thompson-Robinson and the UCLA offense. Demetric Felton splits the defense, 93 yards.
This game set defensive football back 70 years.
That would be saying that there was defense in this game. And then, next possession, Washington State, ball on the turf. This is how UCLA was able to stay in it. Now 49-38, then DTR to Devin Asiasi.
Coming to this game, DTR had 5 touchdown passes on the season. He gets 5 tonight.
All right, so you want to know what Gordon was doing in response?
Yeah, he was doing this.
This was touchdown number 8.
Yeah, listen, remember, he waited his turn behind Luke Falk and Minshew, who both, by the way, are going to be starting in the NFL this weekend. 9 TD passes. 9!
Guys, it's been a long time since I lost breath watching a game. DTR now, 3-yard touchdown run, and UCLA within 56-53. Later in the quarter, Washington State still up. Kyle Phillips going to take this punt, and he's going to do something big with it.
On the sideline, you think you got him pinned in. You make one guy miss, go up the sideline. This looks like 2 tired football teams.
No, 44.
They're just tired.
84. Come on.
84 just wasn't tall enough.
Oh, what do you mean? This many points in this game? You're saying fatigue's a factor? Fourth quarter. You want to see what touchdown pass number 9 looks like?
Yeah, Max Borghi, sensational true sophomore, making people miss. And they weren't just throwing the football, by the way. Washington State also ran for 160 yards in this game, too. As we said earlier, defense option.
Making people miss.
So allow me to reset the score. 63-60. So UCLA 4th and 5.
Over-under was 58 points in this game. Both teams have the over.
So Washington State here forces a turnover on downs, but the first play of the ensuing drive, watch what happens.
Aesop Winston gets the ball, fumbles it, UCLA recovers. Now, the original call is Winston was down.
Yeah, but
they
watch
would
this.
review it. The officials would overturn the call.
What do you you had to review this because you could see bang, bang, it looked like he was down.
Yeah, and by the way, 6 turnovers for Washington State. That is a huge, huge stat in this game.
All right, so 1st and goal for UCLA. As you said, it was overturned. DTR finds Devin Asiasi again. 15-yard touchdown.
Yeah, great play call. Offensive line out front. This is the easiest touchdown all night. These defenses, they're tired.
Look at
Tackling
Chip.
is awful. Effort is terrible. They're tired.
Guys, there was almost 1,400 yards of offense. The strip sack ends it. Chip Kelly gets the win.
Well, I'm just happy for our players. They put in a lot of time. We're young, we're maybe the youngest team in the country, but they've battled and they've given great effort. We've played a heck of a schedule now. Play San Diego State, Cincinnati, and Oklahoma. I put that schedule for the start the season against anybody. And for our guys to come back the way they did and keep battling back, they believe in each other, they trust each other, and I'm just really happy for our players.
I mean, I need an IV. The Bruins trailed by 32 points, making this the 3rd largest deficit overcome to win a game in FBS history. UCLA now owns the 2nd and 3rd largest comebacks in FBS history. They also came back from 34 points against Texas A&M 2 seasons ago. Oh my, what a game in Pullman, Washington. And I have bad news. Gardner Minshew was at the game out there in the Palouse. Because of that, I'm afraid cutoff jean shorts are going to be a thing.
No, they're not.
And mustache.
And
they're
probably
safe.
Yeah, it's a sweet combo.
Welcome to college football final. Jess Palmer, Joey Galloway, Matt Barrie. Week 4 was set up to be big. Why? 3 top 20 matchups headlining the slate as we get to the back end of September. None bigger than Notre Dame and Georgia. 93,246 fans in attendance, the largest crowd in Sanford Stadium history. It looked like a Vegas club when they came out. And it played football. 2nd quarter, no score. Ian Buck motions everyone, but keep your eye on tight end Cole Kmet. pump fake. Probably wouldn't design this way.
No, I think this ball is supposed to go to Tony Jones Jr. in the back of the end zone. As you'll see, he's standing wide open. But how about Komet reaching up, tipping the ball to himself? Touchdown, Notre Dame.
How about the Irish up 7-0 early? 2nd and goal, looking to answer, give it to DeAndre
Yeah, Notre
Swift.
Dame's run defense was stout in this game, though, and they held DeAndre Swift to less than 100 yards.
So third quarter, Georgia up 13-10. Swift takes the carry. Watch the hurdle there.
At this stage in the game, it's starting to feel like Georgia's imposing their will. DeAndre Swift, not just hurdle, land on one foot and get a couple more yards.
18 carries, 98 yards, and a touchdown for Swift. Then Jake Fromm connects with Lawrence Cager, gain of 36.
Yeah, Lawrence Cager, the Miami transfer, 6'5", and Jake Fromm loves him in these one-on-one situations, throwing back shoulder passes.
Then on 3rd and 7, Cager again, this time for 6.
Notre Dame brings the safeties, believing they have to do something to throw off Fromm. But what does he do? He answers with a back shoulder throw.
Fromm, 59 yards in the first half, was able to pick it up in the second half. Georgia now up 20-10, and he is loving it. Under 4 minutes to play, Notre Dame down 23-10. Book throws right. Chase Claypool had a nice game.
Ian Book says, well, I've got a 6'5" guy, too, that can win one-on-one. That's Chase Claypool from British Columbia, Canada, just boxing out a DB.
That's what they do from BC Columbia. Very next play, Book to Claypool, touchdown.
Notre Dame went down 2 scores in the fourth quarter. Thought this game would be over. Give Notre Dame a lot of credit to come back to get it within 6.
That's right. Physically, they were able to step up from then ensuing drive.
Ooh, that's 3rd and 9. He drops the snap, messes up the timing. They would have to punt. Brian Kelly and Notre Dame would have one more chance.
Yeah, so Notre Dame actually has a chance to take this down and win the game. 4th down, Ian Book.
Well, that's not the play call.
Yeah,
I don't think that's what they want to do on 4th and 9.
Georgia hangs on to win 23-17 over Notre Dame. Kirby Smart and them dogs know they got a big one.
There's no quit in them. There's no quit in them. They won't quit. They just keep chopping and fighting and just proud of the way they played.
The defining game will be next week. You know, we'll know who we are truly next week. How you come back on Monday will certainly define who this football team is. I know who you are tonight based upon what I saw, but you want to talk about defining games. It wasn't tonight. It'll be next week.
Joey, what did you see out of the Georgia running game?
Yeah, they got going in the second half. Give Notre Dame credit. They held them to 55 yards rushing in the first half. But then you can see this offensive line for Georgia start to get some movement. DeAndre Swift, one cut outside, gets the hurdle, gets yards going. At this stage, it's starting to feel like now Georgia's in their rhythm. Couple guys open, unblocked. DeAndre Swift, one of the best running backs in the country, makes a miss, sees the hole, the explosiveness, the quickness to get there. And what happens when Georgia can run the ball, they can also pass the ball.
Yeah, and Jake Fromm had a plan. When Notre Dame tried to light him up with some safety blitzes like you see here, he's got Lawrence Cager outside one-on-one on the fade throw, and Jake Fromm doing a nice job getting the ball out of his hands, quickly putting it where only his guy can make the play. DeAndre Swift and Jake Fromm, 2 of their best players on offense, making big plays.
So a win for the SEC against Notre Dame, the big one in the SEC. Auburn, Texas A&M, 102,000 fans. Road team has fared well in this one. They've won 6 of the last 7. Right out of the gate, Gus Bus dials one up to Anthony Schwartz.
Gus Malzahn loves the eye candy, dials up the reverse. Anthony Schwartz ran track in the spring for Auburn. He shows you the wheels.
Did Bo Nix get a block?
It's a good young true freshman quarterback.
Oh, there he's springing.
How about the offensive lineman, though? He's still out there waiting on his block.
You're not going to catch up with him.
I've got places to go.
Auburn leads 7-0, under a minute to play in the first. Joey Gatewood, they said they're going to use both quarterbacks. They did so.
When Bo Nix got the starting job, Gus Malzahn said both quarterbacks are going to have to play for us to be successful. Gatewood comes in and gets a touchdown.
And we know with Auburn, their success comes from the defense and the defensive line.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Derek Brown leading the charge up front. So strong at the point of attack, and they were forcing Kellen Mond to have to get the football out of his hands quickly. When this defense is playing well, this Auburn Tigers team tough to beat.
Texas A&M held to 3 points in the first half, the fewest first half points the Tigers have allowed versus a top 25 team. First play, third quarter, Isaiah Spiller, nice run, fumbles it, Auburn recovers.
Yeah, once again, Auburn's defense making a play, keep him in it. Bo Nix only 100 yards passing in this game was not great, but as long as your defense is playing the way Auburn's was, keeps them in the game, makes it easy.
Didn't need to be, and then Nix there, the touchdown pass. Auburn hangs on to get the win, 28-20. Gus loves it.
He's got something special to him. He's not your normal freshman. We knew that when we recruited him. One thing that I like is the moment ain't too big for him. I mean, it's not even close, and he's real tough on himself. But what I like, he articulates on the sideline what he sees, what he likes. You know, it's going to be a lot of fun to have him around in the future, I'll tell you that.
Atmospheres like this, I've been to games and sat in the stands, and so I knew that one day I was hopefully going to be playing in front of one. And so when the time came, I knew it's just a football game, and 11 on each side, and you just do what you're supposed to do and do what you've been doing in the backyard your whole life.
Jesse, what about big Derek Brown?
Well, listen, this D-line for Auburn is their most dominant position group, and Derek Brown's their best player, almost 320 pounds. He's going to be a first-round pick. Watch him split the double team by the guard and the tackle and work his way back to Kellen Mond for the sack. Also stopping the run, too, though. He's going to take on a pulling center, a pulling tight end, just blow them up to the back and make a play again. Because of this D-line play, they made Texas A&M one-dimensional. A&M only had 56 rushing yards. We always talk about the dominant D-line play in the SEC. Auburn's got a chance to win the division because of their guys.
Now to the marquee one of the Big Ten, Michigan taking on Wisconsin. You know the number. Michigan 1-5 against ranked teams on the road under Jim Harbaugh. And it just didn't look good early on because Jonathan Taylor had it working.
Yeah, this offensive line from Wisconsin, they block so well as anyone in the country. Jonathan Taylor, we know he's a track man. We know he bounces outside. If you don't get a hit on him early, then it's hard to stop him.
He put him up with a 1-yard touchdown. Wisconsin up 7-0. Then Michigan had a chance to get back in it.
Sloppy game again. I mean, Ben Mason puts it on the carpet here. It's now their 4th turnover in the game they had, and it's the 3rd straight game they've had a turnover on their first possession.
Yeah, Michigan not starting games well this season. Later, again, the offensive line again, Taylor.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor, 200 yards rushing in this game. This one, he is untouched. And watch the speed. On the back end, they had the angle on him. Couldn't do nothing with him. He's too fast, especially if you're not going to hit him in the backfield. But he does leave the game with cramps, comes back later.
Yeah, how about that? Still over 200 yards rushing, left the game for a while with cramps. Second quarter, Wisconsin leading 21-0. Shea Patterson's passes tipped the line of scrimmage and intercepted.
Yeah, we talked about the turnover issues Shea Patterson has had this year. He actually would get benched in this game.
Minute 5 left in the first half. Cone, who knew they had a dual threat quarterback in Jack Cone?
Cone was 13 of 16 in this game. He's managing the game because they're running the ball so well. If you're worried about the run game, Cone athletic enough to take the ball to the end zone.
Look, that guy's like, wow. Probably shouldn't be in the middle of there. That's smart there. Third quarter. So Patterson benched, as Jesse alluded to. Scary moment here.
Yeah,
Dylan McCaffrey in. Monster hit right there by Reggie Pearson.
And flags come flying in everywhere for targeting.
Yeah, he was ejected from the game. McCaffrey taken out. He was diagnosed with a concussion. Scary moment there. Wisconsin wins 35-14. Harbaugh now 1-6 on the road against ranked teams. And afterwards, he said they just flat out got beat.
Yeah, we were outplayed. Out-prepared and out-coached. Outplayed it, the whole thing. It's a gut check, for sure. I would say it that way. And you go back to work.
Now we got our backs against the wall. We just got to fight. We got to fight to get out of this position that we're in. And, we'll do it. I'm confident.
We beat Michigan, right? I mean, it's each game's an opportunity, and it's a very good team, and we play well. A lot of guys did a ton to make this happen, and what it means is today, we won against Michigan.
Saying that we sort of came up with this year's no switch, not like don't turn the switch off or anything. Like we got no switch because if you have a switch, you can turn it off. So always on.
All right, so Michigan entered this game having allowed only 3 rushes of 10 yards or more. Jonathan Taylor had 4 rushes for 10 or more in the first quarter alone. He finished with 203 yards, the most in a game against Michigan since Jim Harbaugh took over in Ann Arbor 4 seasons ago. It was his 9th career 200-yard game, the second most by any FBS player in the past 20 seasons. Joey, walk me through the big moves up front.
Year in and year out, Wisconsin has one of the best offensive lines in the country, and that's why Jonathan Taylor, his job has been easy. Watch them move the line of scrimmage. You don't see any penetration. When you draw up plays and how you want to run your run plays, this is the way they're drawn up on the board. You got your tackle kicking out, everyone else kicking down, and Jonathan Taylor is in the second level before he even has to make a cut. They go in motion, the safety drops back, they rotate, and watch him collapse the entire left side of this offensive line. They pull 2 guys around, and Jonathan Taylor, where are you going to go here? Let's bounce it outside because there's no one there. Wisconsin will be tough to beat unless someone can find a way to penetrate this offensive line and slow down Jonathan Taylor.
Wisconsin has a formula for football, and guys. It'd be easy to sit up here and just pick Michigan apart, Jim Harbaugh apart, but I don't think that would be fair to Wisconsin. What did you see, Jesse, that the Badgers did?
After this weekend, to me, Wisconsin looks like the team that has the best chance of knocking off Ohio State in the Big Ten. And to me, they're a complete team. We talk a lot about Jonathan Taylor and the offensive line, and Jack Cohen's managing games, and they got a great receiving core. But they're so much improved on the defensive side of the ball versus a year ago. They're stopping the run. They're covering on the back end. And this year, they're able to get a pass rush. Last year, they had one dude that had more than 3 sacks. This season, Zach Bond, they've got other guys that can get after your quarterback. And this is all about complementary football, right? When you're running the ball with Jonathan Taylor staying on the field, they're allowing this defense to stay rested on the sideline. So when they take the field, they're now playing with their hair on fire. Remember, they were dominant between 2015 and 17 before taking that step back last season. They might play Ohio State twice this year. But they're a very, very impressive. This was a statement win, I think, for Wisconsin.
They look like they were playing with a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah.
Before the season, a lot of people in Nebraska to win the Big Ten West, and I don't know why anyone would go past Wisconsin, because year in and year out, they're the best team in the West. And so you look at Jim Harbaugh after the game, and the reason he didn't have an answer, there's no answer for when you're getting punched in the mouth. In football, you can fix things. If your pass game's off, you can work on that. If you're turning the ball over, you can fix that in practice. There is no fix for getting punched in the mouth and getting physically dominated. And so if you're Michigan, you go back to the drawing board and you try to figure out how can we finesse teams.
Yes.
Because Wisconsin just proved that Michigan is not up to standard of tough boy football. And so it's going to be a long season for Michigan unless they can figure it out.
Yeah, that was 4 quarters of a physical beatdown. Let's switch gears now to Notre Dame and Georgia. If you look at the point spread, it's anywhere between a 2-touchdown favorite for Georgia. Give Notre Dame a lot of credit. Physically, they held their own. They played all 4 quarters in this game. Give me something on the Irish.
But, well, I'm going to say for Georgia, really, Jake Fromm, a big game quarterback. That's all you can say. And statistically, not his best game, 187 pass yards and a touchdown, but he showed his experience, right? Early in the game, taking what the defense is giving him. Second half, good on 3rd down. We saw his answers against the blitz late. And we talk about their run game and their O-line and speed on defense, but he's as big a reason as any why year in, year out, they're competing for SEC championships and national championships.
And I came away with a lot more respect for this Notre Dame football team. On the road to Georgia, 2-touchdown underdog, and they found a way to have the ball with down 6 at the end. And so we always want teams to play big games early on in seasons. Give Notre Dame credit for doing it. It's going to be interesting in losing this game. Do they still remain in the top 10? They prove they're a top 10 football team.
You know what I love in this day and age of the College Football Playoff Committee? We review losses. Was it a good loss? We'll see if Notre Dame, if they were to win out, how the committee would view a loss like this against Georgia.
It was a good showing by Notre
on
Dame.
the road. Still ahead on College Football Final. If you want to see some quarterbacks just flat out ball out, I've got Tua and Burrow to prove it, a collision course of greatness in the SEC. Plus, Texas makes a statement at home. UCF goes down. That and more on College Football Final.
College Football Final is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And McDonald's.
Welcome back to College Football Final. All eyes on the Big 12. We're in Texas, in Austin, as the Longhorns played host to Oklahoma State. They've lost 5 straight to the Pokes. Coming on, keep an eye on Cade Brewer here. Reverse, Jake Smith back to Ellinger. Ellinger to Brewer.
This was big. Ellinger threw 4 touchdown passes in this game without his #1 receiver, Colin Johnson, missing because of a hamstring injury.
So Texas takes the lead. Now 3:52 in the 4th. Oklahoma State punting. Texas returner Brandon Drones tries to make a sliding catch, but
Oklahoma State created 3 turnovers in this game. That's the way they kept it close. They weren't great on offense early, but they're in the game because they're possessing the football.
They take advantage, give it to Chuba.
Pride of Alberta, Canada. Chuba Hubbard came into the game leading the nation in rushing, and he was a workhorse, guys. 37 carries for Hubbard.
All right, guys, watch this ensuing kickoff, the onside kick, and watch how lucky the bounce for Texas. Unbelievable.
And that's a good way to put it. Pure luck. This ball comes up. If you're the kickoff team, this is all you hope was a chance at this football.
Game of bounces. Texas snaps a 5-game losing streak to Oklahoma State. Sam Ellinger happy about it.
we knew this team was different. We knew that we're better than previous years, and we knew if we played our best, we had a chance. And we didn't necessarily play our best, but we got to win.
All right, so UCF went on the road to take on a Power 5 opponent in Pitt. Remember, they had won 27 consecutive regular season games, down 21-0 in the second quarter, and then this changed everything. Otis Anderson on the punt return.
Yeah, they had to fight through adversity, Barry, and Dylan Gabriel, their true freshman quarterback, throws 2 picks early. They get a punt block return for a score. You mentioned down 21-0, but they crept back, and then this return for 56 yards by Otis Anderson totally changed the momentum, and it looked like UCF was in control.
It looked like they were going to pull away with this one because then they would go up by 10, but then Pittsburgh fights back. Fourth quarter, they do their own little version of the Philly special.
Yeah, and this is the play of the game, maybe the game of the day. Pitt, trickeration, 4th and 3. They're going for it. They're going to get the win here, and watch the play. Pitch it. Nice catch.
I love it.
Where have we seen that?
We've seen it somewhere. 35-34. Here's Pittsburgh Pat on the play call.
Pitt special. Pitt special. Heck of a call. Heck of a job executing. We didn't execute last week, Quinn. Guys executed today. I'm so proud of this football team being so resilient. The ups and downs of the game, we're up 21. They came back and scored 24 unanswered. Our kids stayed together. Incredible game. Our kids got guts. Our kids are we're a good guard football team. I'm proud of these guys.
Let this one hurt. You know, at the end of the day, you can either descend from this and fall apart, or you can come together and grow together as a football team. And this doesn't define our 2019 journey. This defines this week, you know what I mean? But that's it. And at the end of the day, we're as good as our next one.
I feel like we're all in our doozy at this point. Need to put a period on UCF's sentence, at least to this point. They saw their chances to reach the college football playoff drop to 0.1%. That, according to the All-States playoff predictor. The Knights still have a better than 1-3 chance to win each of the remaining games and possibly go to a New Year's Six Bowl. Gentlemen, if you like watching good quarterbacks, boy, were some showcased on Saturday.
Matt Barrie.
You do?
Yes,
well, that's good because I'm going to start off with perhaps one of the best in the country, if not the best. Tua Tagovailoa, Alabama, hosting Southern Miss. Tua, do what he does. Henry Ruggs on a snap.
He's routinely throwing more touchdown passes than incompletions. And he does it because he has the best receiving core in the country.
Yeah, Joey will tell you it's all about the yak, not about the quarterback.
Well, it was about the yak, and then he goes downtown to get this one. And watch Ruggs backpedaling. This is his second touchdown. He had 148 yards. Tua, 5 touchdown passes, which now gives him 17 on the season.
Is that good?
Pretty good.
I think it's solid. Alabama leading 21-0. And then, yeah, get Jerry Jeudy involved. 1st and 10 of the 17. We ask, he receives.
Yeah, Tua loves playing against unranked opponents. In his career, 54 TDs, only 1 pick when playing unranked teams.
Tua, the first quarterback at Alabama with 4 passing touchdowns in consecutive games. That's QB feature number 1, QB feature number 2. LSU, Joe Burrow in Nashville taking on Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt takes 3 players off the field with 1 coming on. LSU in a hurry up. What do you think's going to happen here? Nothing good for Vanderbilt.
Of course he's going to throw another touchdown here. Jefferson comes into this game with 124 yards a game receiving. It's been fun to watch Joe Burrow grow up and become this kind of quarterback.
I'll tell you who the star was on Saturday, Jamar Chase.
Well, Joe Burrow's leading the nation in completion percentage, and it's not a dink-and-dunk offense. They throw it down the field. Jamar Chase, 10 catches, 229 yards, and 4 tutties.
All right, so LSU's offense had been on fire, but look at this blocking in the second quarter by Adrian McGee. Let's let the big meat eat. Look at this.
Yeah, look at the pocket. Look at Joe Burrow, the chance to stand in the pocket and look around. Let's scramble, but watch the blocking. When you blitz, they say low man wins. I say the heavier guy wins. Blasting Joe Burrow, of course, another completion.
All right, now back to the sizzle. 2 minutes left in the second. LSU leading 31-10, just over the middle.
I guess the only bad news for LSU in this game, they gave up 38 points to Vandy. They were down 3 starters on defense. They'll want to get that cleaned up. When you hang 66, doesn't matter. School
record 6 TDs for Joe Burrow does football. So Tua turned his 4th career game with more passing touchdowns than incompletions. Tom Brady has only done that 3 times in his 20-year NFL career. LSU's Joe Burrow isn't impressed. He also has 17 touchdown passes. That already equals or surpasses LSU's year-long total in each of the previous 5 seasons. You guys want to keep talking quarterbacks?
Yeah.
Oh, goody. I've got Brock Purdy of Iowa State hosting Louisiana Monroe, and he was Purdy on Saturday.
Yeah, and they found their offense, 714 total yards of offense, and it was all Brock Purdy. He led the team in passing and rushing.
And then this time to Tariq Milton, little 73-yard score.
Yeah, Tariq Milton was efficient. 3 catches, 142 yards, this touchdown, everything clicking for the Cyclones.
Here's how good Purdy was. He keeps it himself here. He's a dual-threat quarterback, has the legs, 3 rushing touchdowns, 3 passing touchdowns. Iowa State bounces back after Cyhawk, 72-20. So how good was he? Not only did he set the school single-game record for total offense on Saturday, but he became the 6th FBS player in the past 20 seasons and first in Big 12 history to throw for 400 yards and have 3 touchdowns both on the ground and through the air.
Winners, right?
Could be a helmet sticker.
I'm telling you.
RG3, that's pretty good.
He might get a sticker.
Just Oklahoma. Ooh, a helmet sticker.
He's got a couple already, though. Check it out.
Good for Purdy, but pretty good Saturday for the Iowa State quarterback. Wake Forest gets in on the quarterback run. Why? Because of Jamie Newman.
This Elon defense struggled. They got 28 points in the first half. Wake Forest gets things rolling quickly.
And then Newman, this time Sage Surratt, 48-yard score.
Newman! Sage Surratt, touchdown catch in 6 straight games now.
Jamie Newman tied a school record with 5 touchdowns. The quarterback's good on Saturday, 49-7. Speaking of quarterbacks, was he right on Trask again? Getting the first start for the Gators in a classic rivalry. We'll catch up at the Swamp. Was Ohio State maybe a smidge of a scare for like a cup of coffee, and then they went full Buckeyes? We've got highlights to prove it coming up next on College Football Final. Check in on the #1 ranked team in the country, Clemson, in the upstate of South Carolina, hosting Charlotte on Saturday. And really the suspense was over. About minute 15 into the game. Trevor Lawrence to T. Higgins.
Every single week you go Trevor Lawrence to T. Higgins, always in a highlight. Trevor Lawrence, 7 of 9 in this game for 94 yards, barely broke a sweat.
That 58-yard touchdown pass, 7-0 lead. Then the defense gets into it, Jess.
Yeah, first game, by the way, too, that Trevor Lawrence hadn't thrown a pick for Clemson this season. Defense always dominant. They give up only 216 total yards. How about this 66-yard pick 6 by Kayvon Wallace?
And at that point, it was just a walk in the park in the upstate of South Carolina. Lynn J. Dixon over the top. Clemson wins 52-10, 21-game winning streak, longest in the country because of UCF's loss. If you play football in the state of Virginia, free tip from the College Football Final crew, avoid ODU at all costs. Stone Smart, with Old Dominion up 17-7, gets pressured. Zane Zandier the pick.
Old Dominion knocked off Virginia Tech last year. They was close last week, and now they were up 17-0 on Virginia before they got things going.
All right, still with the lead, 17-14, fourth quarter. Bryce Perkins settles down, gives it to our guy, Wayne Talapapa.
I wonder if Virginia had a bit of a hangover from that emotional win against Florida State last week. In that game, Talapapa, 3 touchdowns. Virginia survives.
Yeah, and exhale, 28-17. They have the Irish in the upcoming week. All right, Miami, Ohio State. First quarter, no score. Fields drops back and is stripped by Miles Reed. Ball goes into the back of the end zone for a safety. Red Hawks up 2-0. Then Sam Sloman hits the field goal. It's 5-0 Miami. And we all learned that the cameras are always rolling. Wow, guys, what's going on? Miami looks like Oberlin today.
Is Ohio State even awake? Like, they know they're out of the college football playoff if they lose this game, right?
They got Nebraska next week. They might be looking ahead.
This is shocking. This next drive for the Buckeyes is going to be huge. I mean, we're actually really good at our jobs because how did we know that this was going to happen?
And he's going to add to his
Well, J.K. Dobbins, he's good. We've seen this before, right? Okay, so you get 1.
How about the next one? K.J. Hill, 2.
Yeah, it just got ugly in the second quarter. Fields accounted for 6 touchdowns in the second
Chris
quarter.
Olave, he's the new go-to guy. Ben Victor catches a post. That's nice.
I'm not
Olave
kidding.
gets another one.
You hadn't even finished your kettle cooked chips from the calf, and we woke up and there's 8 touchdowns. I mean, consecutive. They just kept scoring and scoring, down 5-0 at one point.
5 different receivers for Ohio State caught a touchdown pass. 3 different quarterbacks threw a pass.
Backups, third stringers, fourth stringers, walk-ons, preferred walk-ons.
3 straight wins by 40-plus points, tied for the second longest streak by the Buckeyes. Not sure what it is about September 21st in Columbus, but they love that date on the calendar. Saturday's win was its largest since beating Florida A&M by 76 exactly 6 years ago to the date. And that win was the largest since beating Pitt by 72 exactly 17 years before that. 3 wins by 70-plus in the Poll era, all of them coming on September 21st. Perhaps don't schedule them then. Oh, I remember back in the day.
Parallel universe.
This game used to matter.
1 +
Peyton
6
Manning, the
=
legend
7.
for Tennessee, some number 7 for Florida. This game used to
Legend
mean
in his own
something.
mind.
Felipe Frank's out for the year, so Kyle Trask getting his first start. I mean, this game used to decide the SEC East. Right now, Trask looked pretty good in his first start.
Yeah, Kyle Trask's first start since his freshman year in high school. This is big for him and his confidence. They got big games coming up against Auburn, LSU, and Georgia.
Good throw here, Joey.
Yeah, it was. Trask with 2 touchdown passes in this game. Also had 2 interceptions. Got to clean that up.
34-3 the final. Here's Trask.
I've been waiting for my number to get called, and I knew I was going to be ready when my time, when my number was called. I've always been preparing like I'm the starter, and at the end of the day, I'm just trying to do what's best for this team. And so once my number got called, I just knew it was go time, and I got to win the game for my team.
So Florida's won 14 of the last 15 against the Vols, outscoring them by 193 points and committing 20 fewer turnovers. The 31-point win on Saturday was the largest by the Gators since 2007. Perhaps Oregon keeping the Pac-12's playoff hopes alive in Palo Alto, taking on Stanford. 4:20 to go in the first quarter. Oregon trailing 3-0. Ball at the Stanford 36-yard line. Justin Herbert got it going.
Yeah, and they had to throw the football. They were held to just 2 yards per carry. This, the 32nd straight game, Justin Herbert's throwing a touchdown pass.
All right, 6:06 to go in the second. Again, Herbert found his rhythm, finding Jacob Breeland.
And Herbert is taking care of the football, has 0 interceptions on the season, one of 2 quarterbacks with 10 touchdown passes and no interceptions.
Hard to believe Oregon's first win over Stanford since 2015. Hey, we've got a bunch of surprise teams to start the 2019 season. We'll rattle some of those off coming up. Plus, how about a little get off me? Isaac Foster takes it 75 yards to put this on the ridiculous board. The play cut, the tweet, 13-7. Kennesaw State football loves it. They won 35-24 and rushed for 479 yards. Welcome back to College Football Final. Gentlemen, how about some teams with surprising starts to the 2019 campaign? We're talking about Cal coming down from Palo Alto, going to the Grove to take on Ole Miss. Fourth quarter, California leading 28-20. John Reese Plumlee passes to DeMarcus Gregory for the first down, keeping the chains going. This was easily the most amazing finish of the day.
Plumlee is going to throw. Caught! And they're going to mark Elijah Moore short of the goal line. It's 4th down. They've got to hurry up. Clock is moving.
He better call a play because he's got to throw it.
Plumlee.
No!
Did he get in? It doesn't look like it. Cal has held.
Guys, these are Pac-12 officials. Have a look. What do you see?
Well, when we watched this live, I thought the ball crossed the plane. I'm just shocked they never reviewed this.
How do you not stop the clock here, take a look, and that's the only view we've seen of that play. We've been here 24 straight hours. We've only seen one view of that play.
Incredible. And Ole Miss interim athletic director wants to know the same thing about the Pac-12 officials. This in a statement. We are extremely disappointed with the officiating at the end of the game and are expecting a full explanation from the Pac-12 regarding the call and subsequent non-review of the 3rd down play. We feel strongly that the play should have been reviewed by the Pac-12 officials in the review booth. Even if the play didn't result in a touchdown, the spot of the ball on 4th down was questionable. How about that for a finish? Let's check in now on TCU, SMU. The old battle of the iron skillet out there in DFW America. Texas transfer Shane Buechele keeps it, 4-yard touchdown. Ponies up 7-0. Second quarter, SMU up 18-14. Buechele drops back on a dime to Reggie Roberson Jr.
Yeah, Buechele really has a good feel for Sonny Dykes' offense here. This time throwing it into double coverage, but a better catch by Roberson.
Then Keemon Freeman stretches in for the end zone. SMU had missed the extra point, up 24-14. Fourth quarter now, TCU down 41-31. Max Duggan looking for an open man. Duggan finds Pro Wells.
Yeah, Duggan brought TCU back in this game. Down 15-0 early. Felt like it was going to be an easy day for SMU, but here comes TCU.
And then they get the score within 3 after an SMU punt. TCU an opportunity. Duggan pressure. Ball game. SMU beats TCU for the first time since 2011. They're off to a 4-0 start for the first time since 1984, so another surprise start to the season. North Carolina surprises the first couple of weeks. They had Appalachian State on Saturday. Sam Howell sacked by Demetrius Taylor.
This was the big issue for Mac Brown and UNC in this one. They turned it over 3 times, guys, and App State was able to take advantage.
Joey loves the scoop and score.
Love the scoop and score.
Howell brings it back, though. Touchdown. Tar Heels now trail 34-31. 5 seconds to go. Same score. 56-yard field goal.
Yeah, and that's tough. You got to drive the ball. It's tough.
Yeah,
Always
that's tough to do. How about Appalachian State? First victory over a Power 5 opponent since Michigan back in 2007. Florida State, Louisville. Florida State trailing 24-21. Watch the corner blitz. Leaves a guy wide open.
And Alex Hornerbrook, the Wisconsin transfer, in for an injured James Blackman, does a great job seeing the blitz, and he's able to hit Tamorian Terry for the 60-yard TD.
28-24 Seminoles late in the fourth. Florida State up. Ricky Aguayo's 18-yard field goal good, but Louisville penalized for roughing the kick.
Florida State has had a lead in fourth quarter of all of their games this season. They just can't hold on. And this one, they get the ball back. They find a way to punch in the end zone and actually put Louisville away.
They were able to win 35-24, and Willie Taggart sees improvement.
It was just big that our guys overcame some of our demons, you know, from early in the year. You know, every game we started and we went in halftime up, you know, and then we started second half, and we don't do much. But each game we did something a little better. Last week we played hard and smart for 3 quarters, but didn't play smart for 4. This game we put it all together.
Jesse, what was the top play you saw Saturday?
This was a pretty good catch right here by a true freshman wide receiver in Wilson.
Joey, what did you see?
Oh, he got up over him. 24-inch vertical.
We'll save the suspense.
Pitt special.
And give you the best. Oh, the Pitt special. This courtesy of Kent State football freshman Joshim Bangda ran for 114 yards. It's the first time a Kent State true freshman has run for over 100 yards since Josh Cribbs did so against Miami in 2001. We love our flash facts. Thanks for sending that, Kent State football. There's no doubt the quarterback at Washington is going to be playing on Sundays at some point. They head to BYU. Aaron Fuller on the receiving end of this Jacob Eason touchdown.
Eason was making NFL throws all game. Watch this bullet. Tight window, 24-28, 3 TDs. He's got a really good receiving core.
That was his second touchdown of the quarter. Early in the third, Washington up 31-12. Fuller, this time he was on the receiving end of a touchdown pass. This time on the receiving end of a punt.
Yeah, don't punt it to him. 3 guys for BYU there have a shot, and once he gets around the corner, it's over. Here we go. One block downfield made the guys miss. This Washington team, they're as good as Eason is. When Eason throws a touchdown pass, they win. When he didn't, they lost the cow.
I wonder if Washington still maybe could be in the conversation for Pac-12. Let's go to a battle of the Columbias, Missouri and South Carolina. Ryan Holinsky's pass batted at the line of scrimmage. Picked the ball, recovered in the end zone by Missouri. Take another look. All right, now here's the official explaining the call on what exactly happened here with the tipped pass and then that.
After further review, the second pass by the South Carolina quarterback was backward. There was an immediate recovery in the end zone by Missouri. Touchdown.
True freshman mistake.
You guys understand any of that?
Yeah, it's a young freshman.
All right, well, he looked it on Saturday on the road.
Vonell Perkins here jumping in front of this pass, returning it 100 yards for a score. Missouri had great balance on offense, running and throwing, and they've now won 3 in a row since their week 1 loss against Wyoming.
Kelly Bryant tossed a couple of touchdown passes in that. When we had offense in Michigan State, Northwestern, Michigan State bouncing back after the Arizona State loss, Elijah Collins 5 yards out.
Yeah, if you're a Michigan State fan, you were excited to see some offense. 31 points in this game.
And forward passing from Brian Lewerke and Matt Seibert. Michigan State wins 31-10. All right, 12 weeks left in our countdown of the best to wear the jerseys as we celebrate 150 years of college football. This week, the number 12. We are going to start with Jesse.
Roger Staubach. Remember him?
I do.
Yeah, pretty good. He was the first player from a service academy to win the Heisman. Did it back in 1963. So accurate throwing the ball back then. And he created the trend, guys. First quarterback at Navy to run for over 100 yards in a game. Of course, he played for the Cowboys, win 2 Super Bowls, and he got elected into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
That's a solid number 12.
Not
Solid
bad.
number 12. Joey, what do you have?
I'm going Charles White. He was the 3rd Heisman Trophy winner from USC. O.J. Simpson was one of those before him. He led the country in all-purpose yards twice his junior and senior season, finished his career with NCAA's number 2 all-time leading rusher. He was a do-it-all, catch the ball, run the ball, great athlete.
I'm going to go for pure entertainment. My number 12, responsible for 56 career touchdowns, a school record that stood for 3 decades, old Terry Bradshaw, who originally committed to LSU. He was a trendsetter. He was the first number 1 overall selection in the NFL draft from a school outside of the current Power 5 conferences. Those are best clubs
ran
of
that
all time.
well.
Oh, yeah. He was the first dual-threat quarterback in history.
Respect.
Hey, helmet stickers are coming. Is it going to be a quarterback? Is Joe Burrow going to get one for the 7th week in a row? Find out who gets our love coming up next on Helmet Stickers.
College Football Final is brought to you by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE FARM.
Bears, Redskins, Monday Night Football coverage starts Monday Night Countdown, 6 p.m. Eastern. Well, there's only one undefeated team left in the Pac-12. Colorado on the road, taking on Arizona State, coming off the big win against Sparty. Here, Jaden Daniels to Frank Darby.
This game goes back and forth. Colorado out to a big lead early on, but Arizona State comes fighting back, and now it's back and forth.
Yeah, that tied it at 31. Then James Stefanu kicks the game-winning 44-yard field goal. Colorado gets the upset, 34-31. San Jose State taking on Arkansas. Josh Love to Dejan Packer.
Great job running the football for San Jose State, but the story was their defense. 5 interceptions of Nick Starkel, and San Jose State shocks Arkansas.
Had lost 24 straight to Power 5 schools. What a win for them. Top plays from Saturday, Northwest Missouri State. Look at Amani Donadell.
Oh.
Love it.
That's why you play defense.
Chris Shuganov throws it deep to Garrett Wilson. Ohio State taking on.
How many playmakers does Ohio State have? Garrett Wilson was the number 2 ranked receiver coming out of high school. That might be a reason why.
Shuganov just chugs it up there. Garrett Wilson breaks it down.
Points for days.
They're calling it the Pitt special, Joey.
You might as well call it the Pitt special. It was special.
It was the Philly special.
This is 4th and 3, game on the line, a chance to upset UCF, and this is your play call. When it works, it's a great call.
How about a little what were you thinking? Why are you punching your quarterback in the face after celebrating? Watch this, a Rutgers big play for a touchdown.
True freshman quarterback Archer Sikowski throws this.
Now watch the celebration.
Oh! That's a good right cross, though.
Finish him.
Doing? That's your young
That's
quarterback.
targeting your
You can't have that.
teammate.
Tennessee doesn't know to use that a phone on the sideline. What?
Missed opportunity
It's
for
a,
Tennessee.
yeah,
They don't know what that is.
Dude, millennials, man.
Can you hear me now?
That's a
We
dial.
don't have an iPhone?
Can you hear me now?
All right, be careful with this next one because Dabo's kid got in the game and returned a punt. Ready? Ah.
Yeah, tell Dabo's kid to be careful.
That's set up to Charlotte doesn't
No nepotism at Clemson.
And then Dabo calls him over. He's like, son.
Let's have a
Now I
talk.
gotta tell your mom.
Let's have a
That's what
talk.
he's telling him.
Son, look, you got to catch the punt. All right, time now for helmet stickers, gentlemen. What a Saturday it was. Joey, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I'm going to Wisconsin offensive line. Bruss, Biadish, Seltzner, Van Lanen, Erdman. 319 yards rushing, guys. There's only one sticker. You got to share it.
All right, LSU, Jamar Chase. What a game he had, guys. 10 catches, 229, 4 TDs. Most touchdown catches by an LSU player in a conference game ever. Take that, OBJ and Jarvis.
Guys, I can give this to Chip Kelly and UCLA, and I will, but Dorian Thompson-Robinson, 507 yards, 5 touchdowns, 57 rushing yards, and 2 touchdowns. What a win and a comeback for Chip Kelly and DTR for UCLA.
I'm going Eric Schmidt from Sam Houston State, 531 yards passing and 5 touchdowns. And since we don't have a helmet, we got the good old ESPN helmet.
You're putting the sticker right side up. I like it. Bobby Brown, San Jose State, 7 tackles against Arkansas, but he also had 2 of the team's 5 picks, including the clincher in that big win.
I know what that Iron Skillet game means in DFW. SMU gets the win over TCU for the first time since 2011. More important, the Ponies 4-0 for the first time since 1984. Go get them, Sonny Dykes. Big win for SMU. Yeah, now you're in my head.
Palmer's watching.
Now you're in my head.
I'm watching.
Guys, quickly give me a take on week 4.
My head's still spinning from that Washington State-UCLA game. I'm just, like they're still scoring on the bus.
I want to see Wisconsin moving forward. Like Jesse mentioned, they might have to play Ohio State 2 times. Can you imagine? That would be a heck of a game in the Big Ten.
What an incredible Saturday it was. We built it up as top 20 matchups, and then they went and stole the show at the Palouse. For Jesse, Joey...